What up, everybody? Dr. JP Guidry here. I want to talk a little bit about improving swing speed and ultimately improving ball speed and distance, because that's really what we're going after when we talk distance, is we're trying to manipulate that ball speed number. Now, we can do that through swing speed, and we can do that through other components such as contact and launch angles, spin rates, things like that. So really there are kind of 5 areas that we can manipulate to improve our swing speed. So one is going to be equipment. So that's finding a good club fitter, and that's getting fit for the right equipment for your swing, your speed, and all the the different aspects they're going to look at with that. So you can optimize what you can do right now by having the right equipment fit for you. Number 2 is improving technique, improving skill. So making our swing more efficient. Not having a lot of extra movement, a lot of compensations, things like that, where we could potentially lose speed, improving the way we move in our swing, and improving our skill level. How well can we find the center of the face? Can we manipulate launch conditions and things like that? How well can we do that? Those are, again, some low-hanging fruit of what we can do right now to get more distance, get more ball speed, get more carry, things like that. Outside of that, we have the physical realm. So this is more my specialty. Number 1, mobility. So within mobility, really how well we can rotate. So improving our ability to separate our upper and lower body, improving our rotation through our cervical spine, which is same thing as turning under our neck, improving our rotation in our shoulder complex, especially that trail shoulder, and getting that external rotation. Improving our ability to rotate through our mid-back or thoracic spine, allowing us to get more turn, allowing us to get more rotation through. And same thing for the hips, especially hip internal rotation, but hip internal and external rotation, same thing. The more turn, the longer path, bigger turn we have, the more room we have to create speed, both ways, as well as those things are going to potentially have an effect on our mechanics. Number 2 is strength and power. Force generation, how much force can we generate? How quickly can we generate that force? So getting strong in the basic movement patterns, squats, lunges, step-ups, deadlifts, things like that. Upper body, pressing, pulling, rows, pull-ups, pull-downs, shoulder, chest pressing. Core strength, so can we transfer that force up through our midsection, into our upper body, into the club. Heavy loaded anti-movement core, heavy loaded movement-based core. So flexion extension and anti-flexion extension, side bending and anti-side bending, and then rotation and anti-rotation. So I'm a big fan of training the core heavy and training the core to both create and resist movement. And then on the power side, things like jumps, a bunch of variations of that. Things like medicine ball throws, medicine ball slams, things like Olympic-based movements and their derivatives, if you're comfortable with those, or just speed-based variations of the basic movement patterns, the squats, the lunges, the deadlifts, the presses, the pulls. As well, you can do other rotational and different band and cable speed-based exercises as well. And again, the key with strength, we want to move more load through a range of motion. The key with power is we want to move that low or moderate to load or weights faster. So our goal is trying to move that implement as fast as we can with that high intent. And then lastly is speed-specific training. So that's going to be your super speed, your stack systems, the other systems that are developed for that, as well as spending some time speed training with a club and a ball. The key there is spending time swinging an implement that represents the club or the club itself at that max intensity, at that high level speed. I look at speed as a skill, and so you're training that skill of how well you can create speed in the context of the golf swing. You can bring in some of the other components such as contact and the other numbers within that. If you have a way to monitor that, contact's very easy with some powdered foot spray. You can bring that into that. So now how do we not only swing the club faster, but how do we find the center of the face while doing so? So, if you want to maximize your speed and distance at any age, at any level, you've got to basically maximize each of those areas, and that's going to be different for different people. High level golfers, they're going to be pretty close to the top in the technique and the skill aspect, so their benefit's going to be more in the gym, getting stronger, getting faster there. Higher handicap golfers may need to spend more of a balance time on equipment and technique, as well as getting stronger, getting more mobile, that type of thing. You know, our juniors, we tend to see a lot of mobility, not enough strength, not enough stability. You know, in the older golfers, there tends to be more of a mobility limitation, but there's also a pretty high strength limitation and power limitation there. So, you know, finding that balance through those 5 areas, finding the areas for you that you may need to spend more or less time in based on your limitations and your weaknesses, and that can change over time. You know, that's the beauty of golf, and the beauty of even pursuing health and fitness is, you know, there's always something you can improve upon, and that may change. You know, if you focus more in one area and get better there, then you may change that focus somewhere else, while maybe more maintaining or not as focused on those areas. So, so the beauty of pursuing those things is there's always a challenge ahead. There's always something you can get better at. So if you want to swing faster, optimize your equipment, optimize your technique and skill, optimize your mobility, get stronger and more powerful, and spend some time swinging as fast as you can. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on social media, as well as you can contact me at johnpaul, JOHNPAUL, at GuidryPT.com, or you can find me at www.guidry.com.